Hi everyone, I am Lisa Clark. I'm the Senior Editor of Curriculum Resources at Concordia Publishing House, and we're going to talk about enduring faith today, and specifically grades 5 through 6. If this is your first video, I encourage you to look at our library of videos. We have lots of things to tell you about enduring faith. We can tell you, for example, about our developmental goals, our scope and sequence, our 8 units, our alignment across all grades. One of the things grade 5 teachers you'll probably want to know is your scope and sequence. It aligns with the rest of the school. So we'll talk about that in other videos, so make sure that you take a look at that. The main takeaway is that a school who wants to align with newsletters and chapels and faith family time, your school can be learning the same lesson throughout, but there's different passages within that lesson that gets revisited as a child grows up. So there's variety, but also consistency there. Lutheran Religion Standards, entire video about that. I encourage you to take a look at that as well. Material structure is what we probably want to look at a little bit more today. You can see the purple and red covers for your teacher guides for grades 5 and 6. All the teacher guides have 70 lessons, 2 sessions per lesson, 4 units of Old Testament, 4 units of New Testament. We wanted to make sure within every lesson we have a balance of Bible learning and faith application, especially for the younger grades. That is very clearly defined in session 1 and session 2. For grades 5 through 6, that starts blending a little bit, and definitely in 7 and 8, but we want to make sure that we do have Bible learning and faith application the entire time. Because you're 5th and 6th grade teachers, you'll be wanting to know about project ideas and pre-assessments and things, especially as your kids are able to work together in groups. Those are some tools you'll want to take a look at. This classroom devotion is something that your kids can start reading to the rest of the class, 1 per lesson. And we have, again, 2 sessions per lesson. The first session will typically have an Into the Word section, and the session 2 will have an Into Our Lives section, making sure that there's that balance, again, of Bible understanding as well as life application. We'll see that a little bit as we look at our student book as well. Of course, don't forget those extenders. We love giving you plenty of extenders to choose from to be adaptable as possible. You'll notice at the bottom of the student book, there's covenant connection. That's something that's unique for grades 5 through 8. We really want to make sure that our students understand that throughout the Bible, Jesus is everywhere. So the Old Testament lessons will be talking about how Jesus is being promised, and the other 4 units, the New Testament units, will be looking at how Jesus is fulfilling all of those prophecies from the Old Testament. Now, this particular sample we're showing you, this is from grade 5. It's a little unique because it actually does have a little bit of a narrative feel to it. Most of the time, your students are going to be digging straight into Scripture, and that's what you would do, for example, at the beginning of your class, where you're digging into Scripture, but this particular one has an active way of reviewing. Often the questions will go straight into reviewing, because instead of, let's say, grade 1 has the narrative in the student book, we're going to expect grades 5 through 8 start getting more and more accustomed to reading from the Bible. Let me click on the next page here. We're going to have Bible life application on page 2. Most often you're going to have fill in the blanks, but you're also going to have a lot of discussion questions. So you're going to see hints toward using a journal for your religion class, so that students have time to write down their own thoughts without worrying about squeezing everything in necessarily, because we're not going to be just talking about facts. We're going to be actually digging deep and having questions that you can discuss together as a class. We really care about the glossary here. It's the same glossary for every single level, because we know you might have a transfer student in 5th and 6th grade with very little Bible training. So we have a variety of meanings per word, so that hopefully students who learn and grow at different levels and different backgrounds can still feel equipped with some of the Bible words that we use. For grades 5 and 6, the Bibles that we're going to be talking about are the Growing in Faith Bible, Faith Alive Bible, Lutheran Study Bible. Hymnals, One and All Rejoice, Lutheran Service Book, and Catechism. We're going to start looking into that Lutheran Small Catechism with explanation, so be on the lookout for that. All right, we've talked a little bit about highlights. We've got some digital tools to take a look at as well. We have an entire video about that. The main thing for you to remember is to ask if you have any questions.